Here we have the Federal Reserve, who's not federal, nor is there a reserve. They're private central banks. And they're issuing money to our government and charging some interest rate, even though right now that's nothing. But over time, they're getting paid. So every dollar we have is essentially debt that we owe back to the Federal Reserve. So they're making money. People believe that it's private when it's not, because it's a central bank. And ultimately, it's like having a Venmo account that's unlimited. Oh yeah, you guys want $1.9 trillion for the stimulus? Here you go. They're not printing that. Can you print $1.9 trillion in a few months? It takes 32,000 years to count to a trillion. If you could do it at 1 second per number, and remember the number that you had before, you know what's going on 32,000 years ago? Neanderthals, an ice age. And we're gonna somehow think that the government now adding to stimulus, which is gonna put them 30 trillion in debt, only seems manageable to them because A, they don't have a consequence to it, they don't understand personal responsibility, and we as citizens, if we think that they're here to save us, they're incapable of saving us. We have to save ourselves. So if you get caught up in the greed and the hype, or you want handouts or freebies, realize it's at a consequence of either your future posterity or you want to take from the labor of another. And I know that's not a popular response. I think in humanity, it's great that we take care of each other. But what if we took care of each other out of love versus out of force? I don't really love when the government makes the choice for me, because for every dollar the government puts into a program, even if the programs are amazing, it's bloated with a bunch of administration and costs. So if you get a $1,900 check from the government, it probably cost them $5,000 to get it to you. So this is the insane thing. The wake-up call is where you really want to increase your skill set, invest in yourself, appreciate your own emotional intelligence, get rid of all the complaining and frustration, and instead take time to tune yourself up every morning with a morning ritual, or reading, or listening to things like this, so that you can go out there and be more productive and solve problems and serve others and add value. Value creation is what's going to help us out, not some entity forcing people to follow suit in what they're doing, because the government, if they had figured this out, would have figured it out a long time ago. But no, they keep adding more taxes. And it's not just income tax, there's so many other taxes that we pay that it's really difficult. There's people in California that if they want to leave, they might get hit with an additional tax. They're talking about that. That's on there. Or wealth tax. So you have people that, think about it, maybe bought a home when it was only $70,000 decades ago in California. Now it might be worth $3 million because of how inflated everything's got, because we're lending and borrowing at such a low interest rate that if we add a wealth tax, it means it goes against a percentage of their overall net worth. Well, they might not be able to afford to pay that tax because all their net worth is tied up into a home that doesn't look like a $3 million home. It's just the artificial demand and bubble of these artificially low interest rates. Hey, government, you want to help us out? Why don't you just focus on the things that are critically important, like, you know, like police officers and fire departments and the basics that are really important to protect and preserve our freedom and liberty, rather than thinking that you can solve everybody's problems. We can't. We've got to do this together. Want to master your money? Want to figure out the things that you could do to improve your finances? Click here and check out more videos like this on Money Matters.